2, 1.
All right, we're live. The CBFFL post-draft breakdown show. We're here with the founding fathers here. The Commissioner, Joseph Bell. Secretary of VP, Public Relations, Treasury, Player Relations, Owner Relations, and Merchandising, Jake. And Matt, the head of the engineering department. What's up, Matt?
Hey.
Okay.
So we're here breaking down the draft, guys. How do you feel?
What's going on, CBFL? We have a reaction show for you. We're going to go over a few questions that were sent in from the league. Got 3 or 4 of those. Then we're going to go into our personal rankings. Not going to do the full rankings, just going to do best and worst team around the table. And then we're going to, what are we going to do here? We're going to go into steals of the draft and week 1 predictions.
Week 1 predictions, and then we're going to give our own personal yearly predictions of what we think is going to happen this year.
Who's going to make the playoffs?
Who's going to make the playoffs and who's going to win? Who's going to be taking home the one?
This is, we got a limited time frame here, so we're ready to kick start. So we got some questions coming in from the league. First question, I'm going to jump right into it, is, I'll just do anonymous, coming in from anonymous owner. First question is Steve actually under 5 fools? That's debatable.
It's never been actually recorded. I think week 1 maybe we could put a measuring tape on Joe's wall before we fix it.
Yeah.
We'll go up to about 6'5".
I think it
I don't think we need to go that high for Steve.
I think at the beginning of the draft he might have been 5'6", and then as the picks came in,
as the second round rolled around,
yeah, he dropped down to, right now he's probably around a 5'1".
5'1",
But
that sounds pretty good.
To be determined on that one, anonymous owner.
Good question.
Good question. Excellent question to kick it off.
Solid.
We got a question here coming in about an owner that's present at the table, Matt. Did Matt bitch more about sweating than he actually did, or was that strictly indicative of the way his draft went?
No, I during the actual picks I sweated 0 because I knew I was gonna get what was left there on that turn. I like the 1 and the 12 because you don't sweat because there's just you get what's there and you can't reach on a pick. And yes, I was bitching complaining about it being hot.
That was true.
I was bitching complaining about it being hot. Awfully awful.
Okay. And actually, the last question I received also has to do with 2 owners here, Jake and Mike. Few owners want to know, was the whispering coming from that section collusion? Or what were you guys whipping up over there?
I was just predicting the draft. I'm not good at that.
Predicting the draft.
So he tried getting me to give him some draft picks, but I said no. And because I'm an honest guy.
Straight shooter?
Yeah, No, I don't know who said that. Although Jake honestly predicted with almost eerie accuracy the first 3 or 4 rounds of the draft. So I gotta say this to the East owners. He's got you pegged. It's kind of embarrassing.
It's a different year.
Get it together.
I went like this.
All right. Well, that wraps up the Q&A section. Keep sending your questions in. I gotta say thank you to the 1 anonymous owner that's sending every question. You know who you are.
Appreciate that.
And we got to do better for the next week. We try to get more of these videos going, sending questions throughout the week. I think we can jump right into our best team, worst team ranking.
We're starting with the guy in the corner.
Starting me. For me,
Matty Claus.
Well, how do you want to? We'll see. How do we want to do this? Do we want to do you do your best team, or do you want to do best, worst, best?
Nah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best. Worst.
In my humble opinion, the best draft went to Jake.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
I thought that was going in a different direction.
Because, I mean, when you start with a clear-cut 1, it's kind of hard to fuck up. And then when everything falls into your lap going forward for the next 14 rounds, it's nice. It's real nice.
Well, can you elaborate on that? Why did everything go into my lap?
What do you mean fell into his lap?
I can discuss that later. But, Jake has an excellent running back 1 that can fill the role of 1.5 running backs. And then his receiving core is dynamite. And then he has an excellent tight end. And it just, everything was going his way this draft. And yeah, his starting team is incredible. His bench has also got a bunch of solid pieces sitting on it. So I really have no complaints about his team.
Overall grade.
Out of, what do we letter rankings or number?
A to F.
Letter rankings? Like an A minus? Because ain't nobody perfect. But, yeah.
All right, yeah, I don't. So, admittedly, not to get his head too big, I think Jake had a top draft. I don't want to say the same owner over and over again. So I'll give my next.
Yeah, he's unlikable.
I think if I had to rank them right now, I would say Jake does have the best team. When you bring in Christian McCaffrey, like Matt said, he's going to get your running back and a half numbers every week. He's consistent. Upside's there, floor's there. There's a reason he's the number 1 overall consensus pick for the next foreseeable future until his career starts to decline. But then you also pair him with Godwin, Galladay. I think 2 receivers that you have the upside there in touchdowns in Galladay. You have the consistent floor in Godwin. Brady loves the slot receiver. Godwin loves to line up in the slot. He's going to receive a lot of receptions there. And then you think he doesn't have the other areas covered, but you bring in Deshaun Watson. He just got paid. He has the rushing floor. He's going to air it out. I think they're going to be down a lot this year because I don't think their team's very good. So he's going to continue there and get more points there. And also you have Mark Andrews in the tight end spot. I mean, overall solid team. Trying to rebound from last year's poor performance. I think he's going to do it, barring any injuries, COVID, instinct trades. Just kind of getting a trade out there to do so. So, but I'm gonna choose someone else at this table. I don't want to make his head any bigger than it already is as well. But I think Matt seems pretty good. I think I said this coming into the draft. Everyone was kind of questioning me. Oh, why don't you like the 5 pick? Why don't you like the 5 pick? Why do you want to draft in the 10 to 12 spot? Well, this year there's a run of running backs, and then after that number 1 strand of running back goes, it's really just a hill, and you're just hoping for upside. And Matt was able to pair 2 running backs together. He has the Jones Chubb pairing there, but then he also was able to pair it with Robert Woods, T.Y. Hilton. I'm not a huge T.Y. Hilton fan, but I think the upside can still be there if he does continue to come back down to the Tyreek or the T.Y. Hilton level that we all know. And then he has David Johnson there as well, Russell Wilson, Darren Waller, target machine for Vegas. They have a bunch of rookies on the outside, no training camp. I think it's going to take some time for them to really shape up. So Darren Waller is going to be the early weeks 1 through 4 target machine. He'll drop off a little bit at the end of my projections, but we'll see. I think Matt, for the beginning of the year, is going to get off to a hot start. And I hope he does, because he plays Jose week 1, a Western powerhouse. So.
What would be a final grade?
I'll give Matt a B+. I think he did what he could do with the turn, and it's going to show for the first couple weeks.
All right. I'm going to go out west. Unfortunately, I'm going to pick Mike as the best draft. And this is just, I'm basing this off, obviously your players, but I think more filling out a roster. So if you look at it, he got his RB 1 and 2, locked that in the first 2 rounds. Thielen, I know he earlier today he said he liked Thielen over Juju. I think he would have took either one of them, but he got the guy that he wanted to fill that position. He got Todd as the 3rd back, coming in with McLaren. So you fill out your wide receiving core down, and you have your 3 running backs, right? And then he takes someone I considered in my department a wild card, which was Kareem Hunt. Guy catches a lot of passes. For me, that would be an excellent. I would say on my team that would be a good RB2 right now. But for him, that would be his flex, which has him looking in a good place. And then you add in Marvin Jones. So I think overall, them first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Them first 7 picks were for where he was drafted were excellent. I don't think you could have did too much better there. And then you have Josh Allen, who I don't think is overall a really good quarterback, but when you add in all the fantasy numbers, that's a good pick. So to me, like I said, I think Mike, where he was, really did a good job drafting. So I would say the same thing with Mike. I would say he was about a B+. Like I said, he filled in all the holes. For where he was, he did really good. Like I said, you're on the back end, so you're not getting. You see the first 4 tight ends go in the first 4 picks. You're not going to be able to grab one of them. So he was able to do what he needed to fill in that roster. And I just think there's holes everywhere else. If you look at, not to point it, but Alex. Yeah, I think Alex on that third pick with Mahomes, he could have done a little bit different there, grabbing a quarterback later. But yeah, like I said, I'll go with Mike, and I would say a B+ on the grade there.
Cool. That's our top draft of the year.
We're not out of Mike in there.
Oh,
So-
Mike, you need,
well,
yeah,
no.
You want to turn the camera?
Nobody wants to see the cameraman's opinion, but
All right.
you know, that's solid analysis, guys. Solid analysis. You know, reasoning behind their decisions. I think I'm inclined to agree with most of it, if not all of it. And
Unfortunately, we're all sitting here.
so let's go with worst. So let's just run it back the opposite way. Jake, who do you think had the worst draft?
All right, worst draft. If we're going off, just value and all that type of shit, I would say Tommy had the worst draft.
Take the light up when it's there.
It started with Evans. Personally, I think he should have went Godwin. Obviously, I ended up getting Godwin.
You think he would after he traded for him?
And then Ertz. I think if you're going to take a tight end there, to me it was Mark Andrews, but it wasn't in that position. He had a whole nother round, I think, to get to that. To have both of them sitting there, I would think. So he kind of screwed himself there. And then if you just look, it was kind of a snowball effect from there. That Singletary, Diggs isn't a bad pick, but you know, once you start going down, Brady, Singletary's. I thought I had a bad RB2 position right now, but I think Tommy might be taking the cake on that one. So I would have to go with Tommy, and I would say a D+. Joe?
Yeah, I think maybe we should plug these in before we do the video to see if we can all choose the worst one. I think I once again would probably go Tommy. I think he did not that his team. I mean, I think we all at this point know how to draft.
It's
right?
a
Like,
fucking draft.
you go off who you like. Evans could catch 12 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns, and be the wide receiver one, and it wouldn't shock me at all. So you never know. But I do think there was some reaching. I think pairing, like you said, the Singletary Diggs and the Ertz. I think he went Goddard, right, and Boston Scott. Like a lot of people from the same team. These teams aren't the teams that are going to have, the Tampa Bay and Patrick Mahomes style offenses.
But
so.
that directly affects someone. Like obviously, I'm the one next to him. Tom, but that direction, I've been voted. I got 2 votes out of this for the top draft, and then you see the guy next to me is the one with the worst draft. So it kind of lines everything up for everybody else. Just to piggyback on what you were saying.
I'm gonna go out east, and I don't think it's gonna be someone that we expected me to say, although we've talked about it. Not that I think he had the worst draft, but I think he might have had some iffy picks for where he was at. I think I'm gonna go Brian. I'm gonna go the champ, and the reason being is I think his receiver pairings are nice. Julio, Robinson. I think he was flustered a little bit after that Mixon and that DJ Moore, I think it was, attempt in the second, third round.
Yeah.
I think there's, coming off a championship season, you'd like to see, I don't expect him to just it seemed to me like once around 6, 7 started coming around, he just started plugging in names to fill out his roster, and he wasn't really hitting on that depth. When a COVID season's coming up, you probably want to try to hit on it. If you look at a starting roster, of course, starting rosters are going to you're going to have starting players, so there's upside there. You potentially can have a breakout. But yeah, Brady there as a quarterback I think was a bit of a reach. Edwards-Helaire, rookie coming in, I think he's going to have a great season. But at the same time, if he doesn't get the goal line carries per se, if Darrell Williams takes the goal line carries,
That's it.
losing out on running backs there. So then you look at his bench and you go, all right, well, who does he have to back that up? And I see Marlon Mack. I see a hurt Damian Harris that's on an offense that I've experienced in the New England offense, the running backs, and even with Brady there, it was kind of an iffy situation. Now you have Cam, who's a vulture in the red zone. Do you want to have him there as your upside running back? Probably not. And you go, who else does he have? Well, there's no one else there. There's Jefferson, rookie, no training camp. There's Austin Hooper, backup tight end. There's Curtis Samuel, Carolina offense that outside of McCaffrey, and DJ Moore, who's going to, I think, hog all the targets. Do you really want anyone on that offense? Probably not. Marlon Mack, is he going to be the starter after week 3? questionable. So I think Brian's really banking on the rookie to hit and hit big. I'm talking like Dalvin Cook numbers from last year, breakout season. Melvin Gordon, you have Lindsey having a great camp. Is he going to continue to do what Melvin Gordon could do 2 years ago? Maybe not. So I think there's a lot of question marks there. Can he still have a great season? Sure. His starters can really stay healthy and continue doing, what Julio Jones and Allen Robinson do, and that could save them. But I think if one thing goes wrong for that season, it's going to anchor them all the way to the ground, and we can see a champ first to worst type season.
Yeah. Great. Any great?
Oh, great. Do C. I'm gonna do an even C. I don't, like I said, I don't think the draft was terrible, but I think it's just there was some things not taken into account for.
One hit there,
So,
and that's it.
Yeah. Do I got to pick someone that we haven't already done?
You can
Because-
do
You can pick whoever you
Say,
want.
'cause I'm gonna go with Tommy as well.
Yeah.
Because
It's just fucking tackle
Like-
fuel for Tommy.
yeah, I mean, like Tommy's a cool guy, but draft strategies are a
You
little
take one personal?
I mean, like, going Zeke and like trying to step on Tom's toes if that's what you were going for. I don't think Tom really cared.
Was that a spiteful pick?
Yeah, that's what I feel like
Is he
it
trying to
was.
just
I
change
feel like
everything
that's
up
what he
on
was
everybody?
going for. I do like the use of the letter E in his first 3 picks. That's 1 plus I will give him.
Guy's consistent.
He is consistent.
Alliteration.
Great use of alliteration, yeah. Like you said, his second pick, Mike Evans, I personally went Goblin, but I don't really have any issues with it because it's really just the guy you like there. I feel like Ertz early in the 3rd round was a huge reach. Once again, though, I don't know if he was going to
He was
be
a homer pick.
Of course he was.
He got
Oh,
two.
and that also goes to my late round pick in his draft. He got Dallas Goedert. Super cool. You're securing your tight end position. You're getting a backup. What are you going to do when they're both on bye? You're going to have 2 tight ends sitting on your bench doing nothing.
You gotta drop him.
Yeah, you're going to have to drop one of them.
Or somebody.
Yeah.
And then you got
I mean, unless you're
Boston
really
Scott.
hoping that like Ertz gets traded, it's wasted roster spot.
I think we can all agree James Conner should have been the pick there.
Not even.
I think
like
if he
dude,
likes-
Amari Cooper, DJ Moore would have been
Yeah.
fine.
That's what I was
James
gonna say.
Conner, Odell, Allen Robinson. Like he had plenty of.
Me
Not-
personally, I'm solidified.
Not to again. I hate going quarterback early. It was really weird for me to take Lamar Jackson. But even if you take Mahomes or Jackson there,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
I
you can
think
go
even
with
so.
whatever.
if you're going to go one of those positions, tight end, quarterback there, you go. I think the 2 tight ends that are the obvious choices are already off the board. If you go Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, you have the upside of like, hey, these guys can really separate. They can end the season 30, 40 points above the next quarterback.
And just, there's just so much talent sitting there that
I would
pick
have
really
really
screwed
screwed
them.
but
Yeah. Well, there's another. There's a lot of talent there, and then his 4th and 5th round got me confused too because he took Devin Singletary, who was arguably the best running back left available, and he really wanted a second one, but then he goes ahead and takes Diggs. I feel like there's many problems with that because they're on the same team.
you don't think Buffalo's the new Kansas City?
No, they're not. They're not. They're really not. Like they're gonna.
Well, that hurts my Josh Allen pick.
Yeah, well, no, like he's still gonna be fine, but like, when you're playing in your division, which stinks, like you're gonna get the lead, and then Diggs is gonna disappear. Like, he's not gonna do anything. You know they're not gonna need him.
He's a home run hitter.
Yeah, he's a home run hitter, like which is fine. That's the guy there, but like, I mean,
But again, you got Taylor
Sharp.
and Montgomery sitting there. I mean, again, I would solidify.
well, that's the thing too. Like he wanted a starter that knew that his job was secure. Like I understand the Singletary pick. It's
If it's Singletary, isn't
he's starting the year though. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I felt like he was going after. And then the Diggs pick there, like I would not have done that Buffalo stack. And he's got, like I said, like DJ Chark, DK Metcalf, and like Terry McLaurin were all sitting. Like
you could
like yeah. Come on, there's plenty of other options that could have fulfilled it, unless he really, really wanted Diggs. You know, that goes without saying. But other than that, like the rest of his team's kind of dull and boring. Like nothing else jumps off the page. Like that's who I want.
Grade?
The D minus. Yeah, bad.
Oof.
Was not a fan. Your first round was great.
Alright, so
D minus is a tough grade.
So Matt would give Jake an A minus. Joe would give Matt a B plus. I gave Mike a B plus. And then we go Jake giving Tommy a D plus. Joe giving Brian a C. And Matt giving Tommy a B minus. So the consensus is Tommy had the worst draft.
Yeah, it seems to be the consensus. All right, let's.
Also, before we jump into the next section, we don't have any here, but I do want to just say our sponsors, Twisted Tea, continues to be the sponsor of the league.
Twisted Tea, stay twisted.
Yeah, stay twisted. We're coming up on the end of the summer, but you know they're tough to get. Get them while they last. Cool. We're going into what are we going into here?
Yeah, let's
Steals of the draft?
let's go into steals of the draft. So let's continue with the back and forth here, Matt.
Do you have any?
Do I have any steals of the draft?
Or
Yeah.
did we go chalk this year? Was it like kind of how you thought things were going to go? And by steal, was there any? Let's call it not steals. Let's call it more any steals or surprises.
Well,
Was
yeah,
there
I
anything
mean
that surprised you to jump off the page?
values. Like, what do you think was a really good value pick?
I think you getting Terry McLaurin as late as you did there
Absolutely, yeah.
was a great value, and I was mad as shit that it happened because I wanted it.
I wasn't.
No, I know you weren't. I was pissed. But I was hoping that, everyone was going to get, like, that whole running back hitch going through here, and a bunch were going to go, and then, like, Shark or Metcalf or McLaurin was going to make it to me. It didn't happen, so I had to settle for T.Y., but I thought McLaurin that late was really good. Yeah.
Any others, or I mean, are we gonna cap this at one a person?
I think Keenan Allen was. I think Keenan Allen was a good pick for Tom. I thought he. I think that was a good value pick.
Let's guys, let's because the people at home probably don't have the draft boards in front of them. Say the round and pick they got him at, So
So Keenan Allen was the 10th pick of the 4th round, which I think is great value.
yeah, I mean,
Two
he's
picks
getting
ahead of
a
that, Joe got Cooper Kupp. I think that whole run, once you get down to that, the 4th, 5th round, that's a nice little run of wide receivers. I got Lockett with the first pick of the 5th round. I think that was really, really, really good.
I thought that was a really good pick.
Yeah, I think that was really good value for him. Matt just went through with Diggs. Not that I don't think Diggs. I don't think Diggs was the right pick there, but you had Shark, Metcalf, McLaurin, and T.Y. all going into it. I think starter, 1, 2, then I guess Shark will be a 1. You got 3 1s there and 2 sitting in the 4th round. 5th round. I'm sorry, 5th round.
Yeah, Lockett and Metcalf were both ones,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah, and then I guess not a surprise, but somebody who could hit. We've talked about this. If Joey can hit, or excuse me, not Joey, if Charlie can hit on these running backs, I think he has a legitimate shot at not just
which running backs are those?
James Conner, who we got in the 3rd round, middle of the 3rd round, and Le'Veon Bell, who we got in the 4th.
I'll even add Philip Lindsay to that.
Yeah.
Philip Lindsay comes out. I mean, the dude just knows how to play football.
All right, so if he hits on, he has 3 fighters he can hit on. If he hits on 2 out of 3 of these running backs, and I think he would have to hit on 2. I think to win the division, I think he would have to hit on 2, like 9 wins, 10 wins. But even if he hits on 1 and can still fill the role with Philip Lindsay, or if you know what I mean, if one of them has like that RB2, middle RB2, whatever, I think this is the year that Charlie could potentially break that door down.
I think Charlie's either going to finish like 1 or 2 in the division, or 5 or 6. Like
no middle ground for Charlie.
Nah, there's no
Strictly
middle.
based off
It's
draft.
strictly
Of course we
based
know,
off of his
yeah.
draft. Yeah, he can still make trades. Injuries can happen. People can still move shit around.
Oh yeah, this is all.
We do have some
it's
things
all
I think
based
I
off the
saw
information. I think
that
like
well, yeah.
there's some boom and bust players. I
There's
think Charlie
moves.
is a boom bust team. Like
I think he's solid. I think he's solid.
I think his receivers are excellent.
Yeah, obviously solid at the top.
His first 4 receivers are, good. He doesn't have anything bad there. He just needs his running backs to hit. If his running backs hit, his team is going to be incredible. If they don't hit, he's going to struggle.
And then he has one of them things that could propel you to a championship, which is that double hit with Murray and Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
If that's connecting, that's something that could lead.
They run a lot of plays out
That
there.
could lead you.
They can throw the ball.
That could lead you in
Second year in the playbook, not for Hopkins, but he's a smart cat.
That could lead you into the division championship.
Yeah.
That double dipping right there. But yeah, I think Charlie could be. I guess he's surprised that if he hits, like we said, on 2 out of them 3 players, 1 out of them 3 players, I think he has a good shot of making a playoff. 2, I think he has a good shot of winning it.
I have two players, and ironically, again, they both play for the same team, and it kills me because they're both out west. But I think Brock got. It was kind of weird. Like, we're coming into this draft, and it's like, all right, where's Antonio Gibson going to get drafted? Can I wait for him in the 5th round? I thought I could, and Brock went ahead and grabbed him in the 5th. I think it's going to. He has already Jacobs and Eckler, right? So we talked about this with the Champs team last when we just talked about the best draft and the worst drafts. He has Jacobs and Eckler. So now in my head, I'm going, all right, how can I get upside in these running backs? Do I want to touch Gurley? Do I want to touch David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell? Probably not at that point, right? Like, I want someone who can give me that Alvin Kamara season. Antonio Gibson's he's probably the guy. He's gonna. I mean, look at his college tape. He touched the ball as a running back in college 70 times in Memphis, and 14 of them were touchdowns. I don't think he's going to continue that over into the NFL. But Washington's going to be down a lot. They're going to throw the ball. Him and McKissick are probably going to be the 2 pass down backs, and I think he's the one that has by far the most talent.
The rook gets, a bad team, the rookie gets the look. By the middle of the year, he'll be the one running and catching the ball, and that's just what happens.
You look at where he's at. There's no preseason to judge him on. What's he doing in the off-season camps, right? He's in the receiver room, he's in the running back room, and he's just doing all he can do. Nothing but praise coming out of the off-season for Antonio Gibson. They cut Adrian Peterson. Who knows what Darius Geis is doing? He's probably out of the league. He's a bum anyway. Dude, breakout college running back, wants to throw his life away. Way to go, Darius Geis. And the other guy on Brock's team that I would say is a steal. I was hoping he fell back to me, and I ended up taking his counterpart. Hopefully he plays. But Sean Jackson, I mean, who the hell's going to catch the ball? We're in Philly, right? Who's going to catch the ball in Philly? We're going to rely on J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Are we going to rely on Greg Ward? Someone's got to catch the ball besides the tight ends. And Deshaun Jackson, we saw him in week 1 last year against Washington when he played. 2 touchdowns, looking like it's going to be another huge season for Deshaun. He unfortunately came down with the injury. All news are that, he's healthy. He's getting a wide receiver 1 for that team. Not fantasy-wise, but for the team in the 10th round.
Yeah.
I think it's a great value.
He's got a solid team.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, and again, he's in my division. I hate to say it, but if Brock, everything goes well, of course, there's some luck that goes into it, injuries, COVID, but he looks like he's shaping up to be right back in the playoffs.
So, yeah, actually, you know what? I'm glad you guys kind of transitioned that. I know we were going to do busts or reach picks, but, like, Jake and Joe both kind of mentioned it. Let's talk about, like, I guess sleepers in the division, how you guys see it shaking out. Like,
we're going to do our yearly predictions.
Whatever order you want to do it in. So you want to do busts instead then, or reaches?
Yeah, we'll finish the draft, and then we'll get into our week 1 predictions, and then we'll do our yearly what we think is going to happen on the year. Does anybody have any reaches that they feel?
Do we want to start anywhere specific, or?
Just throw a name out, whatever. Obviously, I think the one that jumps off is Hurts. I think in the first 2 rounds, I don't think there's so much of a reach. I think it's more what you like, where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, player goes here because you like them, whatever, all that kind of shit. But I think the first one, obviously, not to fucking ganging up on Tommy, but I think Hurts was the first reach that we had. That's going in the 3rd? I know you took one, but are we?
I don't think that the quarterbacks were a reach. I do think that Alex reached on Mark Ingram in the 4th. Mark Ingram it's looking like he might be losing his job, and he had an excellent season last year, but it's because his efficiency was incredible. Yeah. He really didn't touch the ball that much. And, going forward, I don't know if that's going to be the same case, especially because they are looking to move Dobbins, into his role. And, just from missing, that team's incredible. If they're up, why risk, hurting Ingram? Give the young guy, the shot and let him get some reps in game.
Let him beat his body up.
Gus Edwards didn't go anywhere either, so he's you saw last year. I mean, Mark Ingram's always been a running back to me that he's just super efficient, right? Like
I love Mark.
he doesn't get 250 carries a year, but with 175, 200 carries he's going to pull in. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. I project him to be a high-scoring offense again. And with Lamar Jackson, like the running backs naturally just are more efficient on the ground because you got to watch for that tuck it and pull and come around the outside. So we'll see. I definitely think it was. I wouldn't say it was a reach. I personally don't think any of those running backs are worth drafting this year.
No, I'm not really a fan of them either, but
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take them. Someone's got to take them somewhere.
Right. I wasn't touching, and again, I could be completely wrong, but the Todd Gurley, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, Mark Ingram, I think they're all old. We've seen they're dropping off. They're going downhill.
Well, that leads me to a question I want is, all right, so out of them, between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks, you had David Johnson, Gurley, Ingram, Gordon, Bell, all go. Do any of them end up as like a top 8 from the season?
No.
I think.
Oh, and we also have a bet to put on the board as well. Week 1 bet between Steve and I. I'm holding you to it, Steve, because now the whole league's going to know. Chris Thompson outscores Kerryon Johnson week 1. Yes. Just to get that on the board. It's a water bet. So we've got the water wheel. A lot of people have been coming around. You guys know what it is by now. I have the app on my phone. Water bet, Kerryon Johnson, Chris Thompson week 1.
None of them end up top 8, top 10?
No, I actually go the other way. I don't think that, and you guys can hold me to this and bust my balls at the end of the year, I don't think that a lot of those running backs, especially like I said, there's old, like
We had them 5. Them 5 went in 7 picks.
The older guys
And
have
the
been
fourth
in
yeah,
for 4+ years.
I wouldn't be surprised if half of them, 2 of the 4, 2 of the 5, don't finish an RB2. I think they fall out of the top 24. I think you see guys like, it wouldn't surprise me. It's going to take a while, but again, I'm going to keep bringing it up. It's a weird season, COVID-like season. You're going to see these rookies or maybe some backup running backs sneak into the RB2 range. You got those that are just like, you already have Antonio Gibson. You have Kareem Hunt, I think, is going to sneak in there. You have the Cam Akers-like players.
So you got a player like for example, last year I kept picking up D. Williams. He was like a filler. You're saying a player like that could potentially have
RB2
because of this year.
Yeah.
I think
slide
Kareem Hunt's
somewhere in the top
Kareem
20.
Hunt's definitely good.
Top 25.
And you also look at a lot of these players, like you see the David Johnson and the Gurleys, and I know the rookies are the same thing, but they're coming into brand new offenses. They have the bum knees, the bum whatever. They're just turning into bums. They're
How dare you? How
I
dare
mean,
you?
it's
No, yeah,
I
it's a transitional.
I could eat
year
my
for a
words
lot
at
of
the end of the
teams.
year. I very well could. But yeah, I think we're going to see an odd turn. If it's not the bell cow back, that's honestly why I went Derrick Henry in 5. I didn't want. Yeah, he's the safest pick. I look at Kamara and I go, all right, he's getting shots in his back, he's getting shots in his knees, he's arguing contract. Who knows what's going on with him? He could be traded one day. He could be the Saints player the next. Who knows what's going on? Derrick Henry, mark him in 20 carries a game, catching a bunch of passes in camp, and he's coming back to the same offense. They brought everyone back. So
Clyde's a rookie.
yeah, Clyde's a rookie. Mixon, I saw Henry ranked above Mixon, but if it wasn't Mixon, I'd probably be looking, like Michael Thomas, or if it wasn't Henry, I'd probably be looking Michael Thomas or like a Mixon or a Jacobs. So,
does anybody shoot up the board? Is there anybody? Who's the major surprise?
we have breaking news. Breaking news. Eagles have announced that Jason Peters will be the left tackle for week 1. So I don't know if that helps the Deshaun Jackson, Miles Sanders. We have some continuity there at the offensive line.
Okay, we got fucking breaking news.
Woo!
Yeah,
Let's give a half smirk out.
So we had a receiver go as early as round 8, rookie wide receiver. Is there any rookie wide receivers you think are going to end up in the top 15, top 10? Judy, you got Ruggs, Judy, Lamb, Rager obviously went, Jeffries.
All right.
No.
I don't want to announce it. I don't want to get people's hopes up. Again, I'll eat my words. I'm a big hot. I guess it's a hot take machine show, but
That's what we're here for.
yeah, he's still out on the waiver wire.
Oh, I know what's
Dropping a
coming.
name on a lie.
But again, Steve, I don't know if you want to double down on these order bets. I think Bryan Edwards, rookie, college sensation wide receiver, coming into the Vegas Raiders. outscores Henry Ruggs fantasy on the year.
That's a bold prediction.
He lines up. He's going to line up outside. Ruggs, even in college, played under 50% of the snaps for half the games. He's a big play guy. He's Deshaun Jackson. He's quick. I'm not going to get him to say otherwise. He's extremely fast. We saw that in the combine. Dude runs lights out. But he doesn't have an NFL receiver body. We saw this in Marquise Brown last year. He played under 20% of the snaps. You got to have that one breakout 60, 40, 50-yard touchdown for him to be relevant. And Brian Edwards is just, how old is Edwards? I can look that up. He has to be, what, 20, 19? And he's just, dude just knows how to run routes. He's sharp, raving about him in camp. He's going to line up starter on the outside. Tyrell Williams went down. He's out for the season. I think he's going to have an interesting year. Keep an eye on him.
That's why if you ever notice the top.
Or how many years is he in college?
Well, this went from a draft recap to fantasy advice show.
So
I think he was
You
like
get everything.
17 in college.
Yeah, he
He's
broke out at the
17.
age of 17.
the possession receivers in fantasy are way more valuable than your big hitter. You know what I mean? Like you want, obviously volume means everything in what we do.
Yeah. He's 21, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he is 21.
He did.
He's
All right,
been
so
there for
to
forever.
get off of this, maybe we start getting to our predictions. Gun to your head.
Well, real quick. I mean, all right. So, are there any other reaches, or do you guys any busts? I mean, Joe kind of touched on it a little bit
Any
where he
bust,
where
yes.
he
Le'Veon
shaded
Bell.
all of the.
I feel like we
the
touched
running
on it. I feel
backs.
like our reaches kind of coincides with who we think is going to be a bust.
Yeah, I can get a bust to the receiver position as well, but I wasn't touching with a 10 for Cole. And it actually kind of goes.
Amari
into-
Cooper was one for me. I don't
Yeah,
think Amari
I didn't-
Cooper.
I didn't- I didn't want Amari
Sorry,
Cooper
I
either.
don't think
No,
Amari
yeah,
Cooper's
you're-
gonna have that great.
And
I
that
told
kind
you that too.
that kind of goes into a value pick for who was it? Jose grabbing Michael Gallup.
Yeah, right. Yeah, someone else
I-
got to get the target.
I just don't see. Yeah, I mean, I hate. It pains me to say because they're Cowboys, but the offense looks good again. They always look good. They have powerhouses: Zeke, Cooper, Gallup, but you're getting Cooper in the third round, right? Third round, basically kind of like a second round because you can't come on the turn really early, or you're getting Gallup in the seventh. And I mean, to me, they're the same receiver. They're gonna end right around the same area. Cooper's gonna get you those weeks where he scores 25 fantasy points and he's gonna score 4 the next.
Yeah.
Gallup's gonna get you 14, 15, 6 catches every week. Who would you rather have? Depends on how your roster's shaped up, I suppose. But
I
yeah,
think
give me Gallup.
You look at Brian's team, Edwards Hilaire, I think he obviously is a rookie with bust potential. Kenyon Drake, I think, came on the scene really in the second half of the year.
God, I hope he busts.
I think he has bust potential. You know
Chase
what I mean?
Edmonds is available.
And for Kenyon Drake, I think bust potential would be like he'd be at end of the third round, so I'd pick him in the fucking.
He dropped out of
beginning of
RB1,
the second.
not an RB1.
Yeah, you know what I
RB,
mean? Like,
back end
yeah.
RB2 or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's still a relevant fantasy player.
Well, he's never got like full workload for a full season.
Well, he was coached by Adam Gase for a good period of time. And
Yeah, but
Another reason
you
to
still
love
haven't- you
to
still
love
haven't
Le'Veon Bell
seen
this
him.
year.
Yeah, you still have. Yeah, you still haven't seen him do that for an entire year.
In a year like this, you
Be
had
the workhorse.
you had Tom Draft, Taylor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 rounds ahead of where.
More on that.
Yeah, and potentially just in a year like this, you'd think, all right, rookie's going to come in and take over. But Marlon Mack potentially holding that job for a little while. That's just on potential. Same thing with Mark Ingram. Same thing with Mark Ingram.
He backed himself up though.
But the Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins difference was about a round and a half, opposed to Tom getting Taylor 6, 7 rounds ahead of.
Yeah,
So that's that's like a bust potential.
Tom's got 2 potential busts.
Tom backed himself up though with grabbing, going a couple rounds later. So because
Right.
with Dave Montgomery's
I'm just-
injuries and stuff, he has time to sit there and wait and let Jonathan Taylor develop and possibly take over the role.
I like Cohen, but that's just so weird. Cohen's not a running back. They tried it last year. Yeah, he's not going to run the ball.
Yeah, no.
He's topping out at 11 points.
He's going to run the
You know what
ball
I mean?
5 times a game if you're lucky. He's going to be.
Team's very good.
He's going to line up in the slot. He's going to catch passes. You might see Cordell Patterson come in the goal line and get goal if Montgomery doesn't play, which Steve is, sweating right now that he does play.
Steve's spending money already.
That's another thing we touched on. I don't know how on the time we're looking at. It's our first show. We can go a little bit over. It's not half hour on the dot, but we had 2 people drop fab already, and just in case you guys, for anyone else watches this out there, our draft happened 2 days ago. We had $8 of fab spent already. No one went down with injuries. No big signings happened. I mean, you know, we didn't get word today that Clyde Edwards-Helaire broke his knee and he's out for the year, and someone he's, you know, just looking at random names here. Alvin Kamara gets traded and Latavius Murray's out there. No, these are Jarwin, I believe it was $1. And
a guy who is
and a guy who I
is a free agent.
played. Yeah, I
free
mean,
agent.
he's projected to play as many games in the NFL as me. So, I mean,
and he was worth $7.
$7
out of 100.
out of 100. That's 7% for those math quizzes out there.
So maybe we should start rethinking this whole fad.
No, I love it. I think
This
people-
show isn't
people
political, Jake.
People just need to start rethinking how they spend.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a fun fab season. I think this is going to set the bar. People are going to next year will be better, but I'm really intrigued to see how, if we're spending $7 on Devontae Freeman, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, I think people might be out of gas by the time week 3-4 rolls around.
And just a little insight, I was going to put $1 on Peterson, I pulled that back, and I put a $0 bid, and I pulled that back, and still ended up getting him as a free agent.
And that great question to ask. Go around the horn. Who finishes the year higher, Adrian Peterson or Devontae Freeman? Right now, where we're at, all you know right now, Peterson's on the team, he's on Detroit, DeAndre Swift, Devontae Freeman.
Adrian Peterson. I think Adrian
I would say Adrian Peterson.
I think Adrian Peterson.
I think it's going to be Devontae.
I think there's a couple of weeks where Adrian Peterson gets that 100-something
He's
yards on.
Yeah,
he gets
I
his
mean,
20 carries. You know what I mean? Two players are hurt. Carryon gets hurt. Swift's hurt or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, Swift is hurt
Peterson
right
comes
now.
in, does what he does, gets 20 carries, rushes
But
100
yeah,
yards.
and he's had like
touchdown.
1,000 yards past
And I win a week too.
and
200
no one,
carries.
yeah, and nobody's really
You were all framed there. Sorry.
like, you know,
And I
paying
win a
attention
week
to it.
because of that.
But I think that with like COVID going on and shit, someone, and because injuries are a thing with, you know, short training camps, like injuries are bound to happen, and a team is going to be like, fuck, we need Devontae Freeman in here, and they're going to bang, or
then he has
someone
to
can
pick
get
up-
sick.
What team?
He has to pick up a game plan. He has to.
It doesn't matter. It really depends. Like, it's any team that needs a running back to start, realistically. Like, I don't want him to fucking come here. But if Sanders does get hurt, you know, they're going to think about
Shut
it.
up, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that can happen.
I just don't think it's, I mean, it's a $7 purchase worth of.
No,
Yeah,
see,
draft-
I actually
draft
put in
happened 2
I
days
put
ago.
in
Now you gotta wait
I
till
put in a
week 12.
$0 bet on him too, because I would have won tiebreaker and whatever.
Just trying to
I didn't
see,
get him.
like-
It's fine. It didn't matter.
Who else is out there on the waiver wire right now? I mean, running back wise, you got,
I mean, I dropped Hines.
yeah, you
It
got,
was him or Peterson.
pretty good. You got Frank Gore. I'd rather have Frank Gore on my team than Freeman, Malcolm Brown, maybe. So you have these at Brian Hill's getting some rave out of Atlanta in case Gurley goes down with his knees, but I'd rather have these guys than Devontae Freeman right now for free than spend $7 on Freeman.
Just goes to show you.
Now, would it be as egregious, guys, if Steve had only spent $1,
No.
maybe $3?
I still think it's personally absurd. Just a direct shot at Alex and Steve. Our draft happened 2 days ago. Draft the freaking player. You draft a player, you have $0 of fab, waste
Unless
it.
unless it's on a defense. Or
If you're worried about your tight end, don't draft Gronkowski. Draft Blake Jarwin in the last round. Grab a value player where you drafted Gronkowski, and
Spend $0 on it.
looking better, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's where we're at. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of the year. By all means, I mean, I love you guys all spending all your fab. Please do continue to do so. You gotta spend money to make money, but keep on going. I know we can take it to the last yearly predictions.
Well, here we're gonna do week 1. So we're gonna start
Week 1.
All right, Steve and Tom. Who's gonna go week 1?
Steve and Tommy? Is this shooting it to me?
Yeah, we started.
This shouldn't be tough, but it
It
is.
shouldn't be tough, but it is.
Well,
Yeah.
here we'll give you a little projections right now. Have Steve 106.9, Tommy's 102.3. Steve right now minus 4.5. Does Steve cover?
I'm going. Travis Kelce catching a touchdown is what's making or breaking this for me. I'm going to say Steve. I'll say, you know what?
Tommy covers
Upset
the
pick of the
corner.
week.
Tommy?
It shouldn't be this hard, so I'm taking Tommy.
Tommy.
And the reason is
Steve covers the 4.5.
No, I'm taking Tommy.
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 Yeah,
Whoa.
I think it's going to come down to it, and then Dave Montgomery's not going to be sitting in Steve's flex because he's hurt.
Would you
He's gonna
agree?
have to
Like,
go to his bench.
are you thinking the same thing? Like DJ Moore or Kelsey has to you're gonna have to get 2 touchdowns there for it to be for Steve to win.
I think
And that's what's
the
kinda like-
Kelsey one is going to be. I mean, Kelsey should get a touchdown.
But that's just the thing. Like, if I'm going into a game against a player an owner that we said had a really bad draft and nothing, it's week 1, right? So draft is what you're living off of,
Yeah.
and you have to rely on my tight end should catch a touchdown this week.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's the same thing though. Like Ertz,
And then,
is,
like,
Ertz
right.
is like the best target the Eagles have right now.
Yeah.
Him and Deshaun. So,
Mark
and
Tom.
they're going up against Washington. Yeah,
Tommy,
yeah.
Tommy,
I think Tommy's going to win.
All right, I'm going to say
Jake,
Steve.
your take?
I think Steve simply. I think Kelsey. I think he just has both players out to play his third counterparts. Kerryon Johnson outplays Devin Singletary. Travis Kelsey outplays Ertz, and that's.
What we can
that's
do,
pretty much.
are you marking these down?
Yeah.
We can check our standings throughout the year. If you want to
Yeah.
do.
Well, we'll
Mike,
do
do you want to
weekly.
get in on this?
Yeah, we'll do it weekly. Yeah, you'll be the.
Yeah.
You'll be American, like they do on Fox.
Yeah.
Who's American thing? Who's American thing?
Give me the upset. Give me the upset. I think Steve's gonna
Now
choke.
Mike's doing the voting for the
Well,
league.
you think Steve's
Yeah.
going to take it?
What's that?
You said Steve's going to win or lose?
No, he's gonna choke. Tommy's
No,
gonna win.
Tommy's going to win. Yeah.
All right, so game of the week, the rematch. Brian right now is a 0.7 favorite over Brock at 102.5 to 101.8.
Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah, anyone can start. Just,
Give me Brock.
Brock.
Yeah, give me Brock.
2-0 West.
2 in the West. I know
Yeah.
the projections are saying otherwise,
Yeah,
but
I think
just
Brock's
think
going to win too.
Start whoever the underdog is. All right, you want to take Brock as well?
I'm going to take Brock as well.
I think Juju gets his quarterback back. And other than that,
Well, that's what I'm saying, like,
this is a tougher choice, which is even worse than.
Juju's getting his quarterback back, and he's got Austin Eckler, who has a new quarterback, but might have to dump the ball off 1,000 times to him because I don't see Tyrod throwing down the field very often.
Yeah, you think so? It's ironically enough,
I'm
Eckler's-
going Brock on the matchup. I'm going Brock on winning on Eckler over Gordon.
Eckler and yeah,
Yeah,
that's
well, that's what I'm saying
ironically
too. Like
enough.
you got a rookie running back for Brian, and then you have a running back who's on a new team for Brian.
Yeah.
So he's got a couple other things standing his way. Allen Robinson is going to have Mitchell Trubisky throwing him the ball. Dude,
I think Allen Robinson's going to have a great week. I think.
I don't know, man.
Who's America taking?
Oh, I actually don't have the stats from it. Who's playing who? Can I get a
That's
breakdown?
Brock and Brian.
Take a peek.
Off camera, hold on. Technical difficulties. We didn't really rehearse this, as you can tell, America.
No, you are America.
Oh, sorry. Well, I didn't rehearse this.
America didn't rehearse.
For America.
Do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it.
Kind of just do things here in the USA. Freedom.
Nah, guys, I got to go against you. I got Brian.
Brian?
All right.
Alright, so we take Brian on that one. Alright, next matchup. The sanitation department versus C Block's biggest loser. Charlie right now, without Mike having a defense, will plug in 7 points for the defense. Mike would be a 1.5 favorite right now. 109.5 to 108.
Yeah, I think Mike is going to win. Yeah, Mike's going to win because
I think that difference in the flex spot.
I think it's just Lev is going to do nothing this week.
You have no hope for Le'Veon
I have
Bell
zero
this
hope for
year.
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
playing
gonna-
against a tough defense. They're going to be down, and then he had a terrible game.
I'm going to go Mike off the flex spot. That's where I think our difference is going to be. I think it's going to be Drake this week. We're not going to get much hope. If I take Parker, I think it still has a pretty good defense.
I'm
Fitzpatrick's still.
going to go Mike as well. And I'm basing it off of, I think that Kyler Murray, I think the quarterback pick is what's the break
That's our
here for
difference
me.
here?
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray hitting the San Fran offense week 1. Not that he didn't do well against them last year. Kenyon Drake blew up against San Fran last year, so Drake on Mike's side is also going against a tough defense. but I think Josh Allen takes advantage of the Jets matchup. I don't think the Jets are going to be very good this year, which is then going to lead them to.
Having the lead and Lev not scoring.
Well, I think Lev will catch some passes,
Yeah.
but I think Mike's, like Jake said, Mike's overall roster breakdown right now, like I'm still iffy on Devontae Parker. I know he had a really good year last year, and New England sucks, but all their defensive players are opting out. But
As of
I
now,
think Mike takes it home.
and not just off the projections, I think, we'll finish these games and not throw it out there. America,
Char by 10.
Charge by 10.
Just kidding. Of course I'm
By
going to
10.
win. Stop it.
Mike, America's taking money. Alright, and then you got Average Joe's going against both sides of the bun here. This is an intriguing matchup.
I think honestly, Tom and I have a really good
A matchup,
a really good matchup this week. So I'm interested to hear.
So you got
what everyone has to
108 and a
say.
half to basically 106. We'll say Tom's a point and a half favorite going into Thursday night.
I don't like the way ESPN is projecting Chris Thompson. I feel like everyone's sleeping on Chris Thompson. I know I got the week 1 water bet going on, but looking at Yahoo projections, not to bring in cross leagues, Yahoo's projecting Chris Thompson 15 points, ESPN 6. I feel like there has to be a happy medium there somewhere.
Is he sitting on the bench? Is he gonna?
Well,
Same
we'll see.
scoring format?
Same scoring format. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big jump. I think here what's going to kill Tom is the RB2. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to hurt him this week. I know he's going up against Jacksonville, but I think Marlon Mack for the first week is going to control the running back position for that team. So right now, I would say I have Joe on the running back position, which is going to give him the edge for the week. Joe is technically the dog this week.
Yeah, Tom was the only East Division member to beat me last year, so I think I'm getting my revenge. And also, it's my team, so I feel obligated.
No, you don't have to.
Nah, I think Tom's gonna win.
Tom's going to take this one.
I think Tom.
There's a big
will take
difference in the
this
tight
one.
ends there.
There is a big difference in the tight ends, but Will Fuller's also technically the wide receiver 1 on that team now, right?
He's got him sitting in the flex spot.
Yeah, he's got him sitting in the flex spot, and he's going up against a team that's going to score 1 million points, and they're going to be throwing the ball
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah,
And offenses do usually click before defenses do.
I'm not going to bring anything up because I don't want to help my opponent. But off camera, I'll ask a question.
Alright, who's America taking?
You want me to tell you who to start, Joe?
No, I don't.
I think we got to cut the America segment until I start researching these matchups ahead of time, guys.
Well, you
It's
want
not-
me to
this
go
is-
first?
This
You
is
want me to
not
go
good
first, and I'll
flow.
hand you my phone?
Week 2 will be a lot better.
Yeah. I'll go first next time, and I'll hand you my phone.
We'll
So
do our
you
Saturday,
can,
Saturday
work it out.
meetings. We'll do our Saturday show. Every Saturday.
You know what? I'm gonna take Joe.
Joe and everyone with the dog.
Best drafted team is projected to
Go down.
3-1 off the owners.
Alright, so we get to the Wisconsin Redskins and Jose Hooligans. Matt right now is a pretty big favorite at about 8 points, 112.5 to 104.5. I'm just going chalk that. I think Matt just has the better roster. I'm just going to say Matt wins because he has more talent.
Yeah, I'm going to go Matt as well. I just think I know we talked about this off camera last night as well. I don't love T.Y. Hilton. He's playing Jacksonville. I think we could beat Jacksonville, so I'm going to go T.Y. Hilton.
That's the
Has a
big
good
one,
week
is it?
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with myself because I'm undefeated in week 1s, and I fully intend to keep that
Good
streak
job
going.
right there. I'm glad that you know that. Any?
Of course.
Well, so I was with you guys till Matt dropped that last
Oh,
line.
son
America's
of a
very
bitch.
fickle when it comes to personalities.
Well, it's just because you're own for
You think it's got to break eventually?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
gotta go to 4-1,
everything
can't beat them
comes
this
to
year.
an end. Everything comes to an
He's
end.
looking to be the lead dog.
I want to just preface this. Kamara has to play for this pick. That's a prop.
Yes, that's another thing.
If Kamara plays, Jose will win. If
That's
not,
another thing. Who knows where
Matt's
Kamara
running
ends
away
up.
with
I
this.
mean, if they don't have a contract worked out by week 1, I don't think Kamara plays. I think he'll report to camp. He doesn't want to get fined $40,000 a day.
So that puts you in the hole. If
But-
you're Jose, man.
that would make Latavius Murray extremely valuable.
That would be. It
Who
would
has
make
him?
Latavius Murray extremely valuable. It would also.
That means Jose hit on the
That
wrong.
would also make the guy who I
Behind
project to
him.
win.
I also think
Straight
that New Orleans, just as a ball club, isn't a team that's going to say, all right, this guy's going to sit out. We'll work something out. They'll trade. I honestly do think they'll trade him.
I think they'll trade him.
And I don't think they want to. I think they want to work something out, and that's why I think
Well, they're in
still
win now mode,
back
right?
and forth. You have some reporters saying, hey, he's going to be traded. Some saying, no, they're working something out. I think it's really because, like I said, New Orleans doesn't want to trade him, but they will. And Kamara's like, well, I'm not going to get fined $40,000 a day. I'll report to your camp, but hey, I'm worth more than this. We need to work something out, or I'll sit out when the actual important time comes. So
I don't know if this is breaking news, but it's news. Doug Marrone saying it'll be a while before Armstead plays. Chris Thompson.
And the what's his other name? The dude with the O name.
Yeah.
Ozigbo?
they
I
have.
don't know how to pronounce it.
They have that.
Divine.
that- see,
Ozigbo.
Not to. I don't want to. Steve, I promise I'm not gonna. But $7 on Freeman. He comes into Jacksonville. If you leave, they know that they've known this before today that Armstead wasn't going to play. They bring in Devontae Freeman, and he leaves without a contract for a team that's potentially starting Ozigbo.
And Chris Thompson.
Yeah,
not against Chris Thompson, but he might be.
Tank for Trevor.
He's
he's going to. Thompson's always been the guy. He's going to get the passing now. He's Duke Johnson, like you said. He's going to catch the ball. Right.
But in this role like this,
Until he gets hurt, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, until he gets hurt. Yeah.
I mean,
he'll play like
we look back
9,
at
10
like
games.
week ones from Chris Thompson. He's been double-digit points a few times in his career because he just
let the Eagles up.
He's good,
yeah.
dude.
He caught the ball. He catches the ball 5-6 times a game. I mean, again, Jacksonville, not a great team. He's probably going to be on the field more times.
We ain't looking for great teams. We're looking for great players.
Right, they're going to be throwing the ball. Is what I'm getting at. He's going to be on the field more than
Volume, that's what you're
Ozigbo.
looking for. You're just looking for volume. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as they get volume. They're a relevant fantasy football player.
Yeah.
All right, into the
Who we
last
got?
game, we got the Globo Gym Purple Cobras going up against Alexander's Greats. Alex is missing a defense. We'll add in 7 for that. That puts us at 114.5 to 103.5.
That's
About 10, 11 point favor for the Purple Cobras. Again, this is another one I think right off just talent wise. I think that obviously McCaffrey and it's Galladay over AJ Green. Week 1 right now, AJ Green coming back into everything. Mark Andrews is a huge advantage over Rob Gronkowski, I think.
Well, Rob Gronkowski's in a 3 tight end rotation.
And I think the Eagles have a good matchup with Washington week 1 as far as defense. So I'm going to take myself again simply off just having a better roster right now.
Yeah, if I had to lock in a game this week, it would be Jacob Alex.
Yeah,
Same.
I think that would be.
I think so.
Yeah, give me McCaffrey over the AJ Green Gronkowski question marks.
Yeah, absolutely. America.
Gotta go with the Cobras.
So that's a consensus.
Is that the first 4-0 consensus?
Yeah, that was the first time we all
Yeah.
agreed. Nah, Mike.
Okay.
Mike, I'm sorry. We all agreed on Mike. So who's going to be the highest scoring game of the week? I think potentially Mike and Charlie have potential to be the high scoring game of the week after going through that.
Yeah. Highest scoring game, I think.
Combined, yeah.
I would choose. I mean, I wouldn't bet against McCaffrey. Or
I think I might have the highest scoring week.
I think you'll probably have the highest scoring.
Yeah,
I think a combined game, I think our most exciting game this week might be Mike and Charlie. I think that might be. Brian and Brock are obviously game of the week. Going into it, the rematch.
Mike, Charlie, you never know. Like Jose, Matt, you never know with the Ridley, Tyreek Hill on Jose's side. Like
Big blow up
Yeah,
potential.
Tyreek Hill could just
They're-
catch 2 80-yard touchdowns
again,
and make
big,
it sad.
really dependent on Kamara playing for the New Orleans Saints week 1. But
Yeah.
All right, Matt. After everything we've been through, give me your West yearly predictions. Who do you think everywhere people are going to end up in the West? You can go through rosters
All
if
of
you
them?
want. You can go through the rosters, schedule real quick. I'm going to take a piss if you want to pause that. I don't know if we can pause it now. But we're going to get.
All right, we're back.
We're getting our predictions on camera. What we think is going to happen? Who's taking home the trophy this year?
All right, out of the West, as of right now, I think that Mike probably has the best team. It's the most complete, most solid team. I don't think he really has a fault anywhere that's going to be a big hindrance on him. I think that he's going to be very successful this year. I do like his bench as well, so I have him as 1. I got Jose at 2. same thing. Like, I like Jose's team. The only question mark right now is the Kamara thing. But, Jose's got 4 really good receivers that he can switch around and plug and play any week if he needs to. It's just the whole Kamara situation's the only thing holding him back. I think that it's going to be fine, though. I think that he'll either sign or he'll just buck up and take it for the year and hopefully realize that, that shit's fine. I think Joe's going to take 3rd. I think Brock's going to miss the playoffs again and take 4th. I think Alex is going to get 5th. And Tommy is going to be last.
No love for the bold bandit today.
Bandit.
Yeah, run through the West real quick. Minor breaking news to help Adrian Peterson. Bo Scarborough, Detroit Lions running back, came and took a lot of carries last year on the IR to start the season.
Cool.
So Adrian Peterson for the point, maybe Devontae Freeman, Adrian Peterson argument. But, yeah, I'm going to go, I do like Mike's team. I'm going to go myself finishing 1.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Because-
is that, or is you just doing that?
So-
or
Based off of roster right now, I would give it to Mike. I trust myself to work my roster.
Yeah, we're also adding in, you're
Yes.
taking into account what the person does during the year.
I
what
trust
they have
myself to
done,
work my
all that kind of
roster. Again, I'm going to give Mike 2, so Mike right behind me. Mike and I talk a lot. I appreciate his football knowledge. I think he does have a good way of working fantasy rosters. So, and then I'm going to go Brock 3.
Back-to-back playoffs.
I'm going to go back. I like his roster now, and I think Jose has a lot of. I think Jose could very well jump up to number 1.
It's another person who could, with their moves.
He
and all
also,
that,
I do,
could
yeah,
trade.
I also
He's
think
a very
Jose-
sneaky trade.
Right.
He's a
Jose
good
also
trader.
is really good at what he does in fantasy. I think he has a lot of question marks on his roster right now. Does Ridley break out? With what happens with Kamara? Cam Akers is an RB2, so on and so forth. So, and then Jose 4. Whoever doesn't finish in the 3rd spot, Brock Jose will be 4, but I'll go Jose 4, Alex 5, Tommy 6.
Well, I'm going to start with Mike. That was my best roster, and I think he has the most complete team going into the season. Again, not accounting for everything we have to account for. I'm going to go Joey too. I like that in the roster. This is where it gets tricky for me. I'm kind of with you on the whole Brock Jose thing.
What is it, same consensus, 5, 6, 7?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jose. I like his receivers better, so I'm gonna go Jose, Brock, Alex, Tom. All right, Matt, you wanna start in the East?
Alex and Tommy have some making up to do.
In the East, as of right now, looking at rosters, I got Jake 1 because everything fell in his lap. Fuck you. I have myself as 2.
All right. Go play over there for a minute.
That's scary.
As of right now, for 3, I think I'm gonna have to go Tom. It's either Tom or Steve.
For a 3?
Yo, Liz,
Yeah,
not
for 3. I think it's gonna be Tom. I'd put Steve at 4. Like you said about, Jose possibly shooting up. I think I have Charlie at 5 right now. But Charlie, if his running backs show up, could potentially be 1 because his receivers are.
Yeah, but on the other end, it's somebody like Tom who can screw himself in trades.
Exactly too. And Charlie is really known for picking up a lot of guys and then not just straight not playing. Yeah. It's not his fault. He'll draft a good team on paper and then they all shit the bed. And then I actually have Brian, once he made that blunder in the 2nd round, I got him dropping.
First to worst.
First to
For the
worst,
champ.
yeah.
Wow.
I also feel like no one's going to really want to, trade with him.
No one wants to make a
Deal with
move
him.
with Brian.
Nah, I don't think anyone's going to want to make a
Brian.
move with Brian.
Not this year.
I make a move with anyone, so the price has to be right. But yeah, I think the East is. It's kind of, I mean, the West is a little easy as well for me, but the East is pretty easy for me. I go Jake 1, followed by Matt 2. Just go off the talks earlier. They had really good drafts. I go Tom Yeah, Tom 3, Charlie 4, Brian 5, Steve 6.
Alright, I'm gonna go one with myself. Obviously, I think I have the best roster overall right now for the draft. I'm gonna go with Matt 2. I'm going Charlie 3. I think Charlie's gonna get into the playoffs this year.
I want to see it happen.
And then I'm gonna go chalk with you guys, Tom, and I'm gonna go Bryce. I think Brian, even though after a couple blunders, still does have a sit in place, and then he knows what to do with it. Coach Steve, who, as you can see, 7 points or $7 already.
$7 on a free agent, that's still a free agent.
All right, Matt. So,
Man, we should have FaceTimed him there. Can we still do that?
Matt, we're looking at your playoff, right? So, in your scenario, Mike would have the bye. You have Jose, Joe. Is Joe able to finally win a playoff and get to the West Finals?
Yes.
Appreciate it.
So you got Joe over Jose. Now your Western Finals, Mike and Joe.
I like Mike's team better. Mike.
That's fair.
Alright. In the West, or excuse me, in the East, you would have you versus Tom, and me getting the bye.
I think I'd be Tom.
Sets up a match for me versus you.
With your team right now, if everything works out for you, I think you beat me.
Current roster.
You.
Yeah.
Dive into the humble pie. Way to go.
yeah, current
I'm not going
rosters.
that route.
Yeah, current roster, I think you beat
So,
me, yeah.
that lines us up for a rematch, man.
A rematch, I see you beat Mike again. Always bridesmaid, never bride.
I don't like that pick.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
So I get the
At
bye.
least you'll make it there 3 times.
Alright, so Joe, you got the bye. Right now you have
Only
Mike
gotta be in 2.
versus Brock.
I'll
First round.
do Mike. I think Mike will. It'll be better to beat Mike in the Western Championship.
Alright, so in your scenario, this is your first opportunity to win, or this is your opportunity to win your first playoff game.
Yeah.
Western Finals, you versus Mike.
Yeah, I think I take him down.
Joey over Mike.
Can't make up for 3 losses, 3 wins.
So you had Tom versus Matt. Matt would be the 2 seed, Tom would be the 3 seed, I would get the 5.
I have the same Eastern Championship and result with Matt right now.
Tom.
And then I have me beating you in the championship.
So you get 2 wins this year.
Yeah, big win. Only one win that matters.
A couple heavyweight finals so far.
Yeah.
Alright, I got I guess I would say I'll give Joey, we'll go Joey over Jose. And I'm gonna say Mike over Joey right now. You know what I'm lining this up for.
Same shit out here.
Yeah. And
Yeah, your shit's basically the same.
I'll throw out my wild card there. I'm gonna say Charlie gets to the East Finals. I'm gonna say
No.
Charlie over Matt.
Boo!
Gotta throw one
Cinderella
out.
story.
Yeah,
gotta throw the
We
guy
had Brock
better.
last year.
I don't think it's gonna end that way though in this story, Joe.
Jake over Charlie, and then I'm gonna give Mike his foot in that segment. And then me over Mike. Alright. So we got these on paper, we got them on video.
Got a lot on video, a lot on paper.
We'll reconvene if everyone's cool for next Saturday. We'll do our week 1
Yeah,
recap,
let's keep it
week
going.
2 preview.
We could bring in. We'd like to
We'll have Thursday played, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, if anybody can
Yeah.
show up, yeah, if we can get either special guest or if we want to get somebody else on the round table.
Yeah.
Rectangle table.
It's a rectangle table.
It's
but
we'll definitely look to send us any. If you guys can look at the video beforehand, send us any questions you want to answer Saturday. I know it won't be full games. We'll recap Thursday. We'll talk about how anything fantasy related, news that happened since then, and let us know what you want to do for the rest of the year. If you guys have any ideas that we can bring in, we'd like to bring in owners here and there. You know, of course, the founding fathers will be hosting the show, but we'd like to have people sit in, special guests.
Let's
We'll
even get
talk
Mike from behind the camera.
We'll talk about everything. Maybe we can get the camera set up somewhere. But we'll talk about everything, trades, any pickups, ads, anything you guys want to talk about, send it in to Joe. And we'll base our predictions off, I guess, Thursday not happening. So we'll just look at it like, we'll try to be unbiased as possible on any Thursday games that happen on our predictions. Because we're going to keep this for the year, see how everybody turns out with their predictions.
Until next time.
CBFFL.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Peace.